Hi, fourth graders. For English today, we're going to begin looking at how to use commas in sentences. First thing we need to know is that a comma is used to show a pause in writing. It's where we naturally pause as we speak. If a sentence is read aloud, there is a natural pause in your voice as you read the sentence. And now we're going to look at 8 different comma rules. These are listed on your page 289. You need to refer to them as you work on these work pages. We'll use a comma between the number of the day and the year when you're writing the date, May 6, 2020. Between a city and a state, Fayetteville, North Carolina. In a series, I want to eat ice cream, hot fudge, and donuts. I don't know, you can create a list there, and you put a comma between these items in a series. In a compound sentence before the joining word, I love to play outside, and I love to go to the swimming pool. In dialogue, when you're speaking, we say, he said, I don't want to. You always put the comma before the quotation marks in dialogue. In direct address, that's when we speak to someone and we use their name. Let's see, we could say, I want to go to the store, Dad, and you're speaking to Dad, you would need to put a comma before his name. After introductory words, such as yes, no, and well, yes, you may come to the store. After a long introductory phrase of 5 or more words, like if you have a dependent clause at the beginning of your sentence, like, in the early morning hours, the city seems to sleep. So when you have a phrase at the beginning. Now on this page today, you need to fill in the circles next to each sentence that is written correctly. So here we see the same sentence, but in the second one, we have a comma with the word before. So we need to look back to our comma rules, and we need to see, is there a rule that would tell us to use a comma before the word before? Well, I see number 7 says after introductory words, such as yes, no, and well. Well, before isn't one of those choices. And then number 8 says after a long introductory phrase of 5 or more words. Well, before doesn't have 5 words, it's just 1. So we need to choose the first circle. You do not need a comma for before. Number 2. I think, Mom, that I would like vanilla ice cream. I think, Mom, that I would like vanilla ice cream. This is called direct address. This is where we're speaking to Mom. So we can see this sentence, they only put the comma after. And then in this one, they put the comma before and after. Well, the correct choice is the second one. We put commas completely around the name that we're using in direct address. Then number 3 on the next section, you just have to show where to put the comma. So we see, where did you leave your homework, Zachary? Well, we're speaking to Zachary in this sentence, so you need to put a comma before his name. Number 4, let's go to the park, said Travis. Well, this is quotation, so we need to have a comma after park before the word said. We always put the comma between the said part and the sentence part. Then number 5, no, I don't know the answer to that question. No is an introductory word, you put a comma after it. And number 6, Roscoe, you need a bath. Roscoe would be the direct address, you need to put a comma after his name. And then number 7, after the toddler's long nap, he was happy. Okay, now as we move to reading class, we're going to be starting a story called The Stone Soup. And this story is a play. So you are going to be reading about different characters and what they said. You might want to ask your mom if you can make some stone soup some point this week or this weekend. So you can look at the ingredients list and you can follow along at the end here of the story and see about how to make the stone soup. So, starting out, this story has some vocabulary words. We have appreciate, furiously, stalk, tartly, trouser, and vigorously. The farmer appreciated that his grandchildren spent many hours painting his barn. Appreciated means they were grateful or thankful. The woman furiously shouted, "Stop!" at the purse snatcher. Furious would mean mad. The angry boy stalked across the room and slammed the door. It's kind of like you're stomping your feet, clearly showing you're mad, upset. The girl did not have many friends because she spoke so tartly. Tart is sour, so in this situation it's talking about she was speaking at a really unpleasant tone. Number 5, the man's gray trousers were splattered with muddy water from the puddle. Trousers are his pants. The house shook vigorously during the earthquake. Vigorously, shaking, 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 strong. Okay, this is a play. A play is a story written by a playwright to be acted on a stage for an audience. And the big idea here is that a folktale may be written in the form of a play. So let's think about what we already know about a folktale. Remember, a folktale is a story told by a people of a country or a group that is passed from person to person by word of mouth. So this play is a folktale that's been written out in a play form so that could be acted. One interesting thing is this play comes from Europe, and different countries in Europe all had a version of this play. Germany, Switzerland, Sweden, Russia, Hungary, England, Ireland, France, and Portugal all had a version of this play. And you're going to need to know that when you get to your workbook pages. So I would like you to read through here about this play. You're going to read the first part of the play, Act 1 today. You're reading pages 630 to 635. And you're going to see what happens here in this little part of a story. Just read it like a story, read the character's name, and then read what they said. And then after you finish the first part of the play, you're going to do the workbook pages. And so as you get to your workbook pages, you've got page 255 and 256. We are skipping over a page in the workbook, so be careful to make sure you're at the right workbook page. And this is going to be a graded page today because all you need to do is match in some answers. So the first section says, based on your research, mark the answers that are correct. Okay, remember what I told you about the stone soup? It's from countries in Europe. So as you see number 1, you see all those countries are Europe, so you're going to mark all of the countries. And then you're going to do your best to answer the second questions. You may have to Google the stone soup and see if you could come up with some extra answers to help you if the story didn't tell you. Number 4, answer the question. And then 5, 6, all the way through 12, you're going to match the different parts of the story with their descriptions. Look at the first page, 630, and see if you could, that can help you answer what these different parts of the play are. And on the back, you're going to match the vocabulary word to this section. Then as you move on to spelling today, we're on page 124, and you're going to circle the words that are spelled wrong and write them correctly, and then write the spelling word that goes with the definition.